Welcome back, everybody. Today I have a story that I want to tell you guys, and it is 4th of July, by the way, so if you hear some booms in the background, I'm not on the range. It's not a Paul Harrell video. It's fireworks going off in the neighborhood, so please excuse those noises if you hear them. But I had a story that I wanted to tell you guys tonight, and this is from back when I was a little kid. And this story kind of goes into my mindset and philosophy of why training is important. Because you always think, hey, if this thing happens, I'll be able to handle it. If I'm, doing this, whatever, I can stop what I'm doing and just go deal with, a threat or whatever may be the situation at the time. But that's not always necessarily the case. So I remember I was probably 10 or 11, and we lived out in the country, me and my, mom and dad and brother. And one night I had to take the trash out, and our trash had already been pulled across the road to the other side, because that's the side it had to be on for the trash to pick it up outside the city limits. And our house was probably a good 50 yards or so from the road, nothing crazy. But so I had the trash bag in this hand over the shoulder, and I had an empty Diet Dr. Pepper carton or something in my hand as well that I was carrying. Just walking up, minding my own business. This was probably 8 o'clock at night or something. And just walked up to the road, and I got halfway across the road, and I looked both ways, for traffic and all that good stuff. Halfway across the road, when I saw something move out of the corner of my eye, and I looked down, and there was a snake laying on the road, probably 2 feet from my feet. What happened is it moved because it struck out, almost like it was going to bite me or something, but it was facing the other way, so it struck in the opposite direction of me, which after this was over, I thought was kind of weird, but at the time I was just like, oh crap, there's a snake. I turn and start sprinting back to the house to tell my dad so he could go get the shotgun, shoot it, all that good stuff. And about halfway back to the house, I realized I was still carrying the trash in my hands. That's when I dropped the trash, ran into the house to tell them, my parents, what was going on, and we killed the snake and everything was fine. I can't remember if it was a rattlesnake or some other kind of snake, but it just goes to show you, I was holding the trash as I was running away from this potential threat. I wasn't going to sit there and figure out, oh, is that a rat snake? Is that a chicken snake? Is that a rattlesnake? No, I'm just going to run because it's a snake. Natural human impulse for most people, at least. So why didn't I drop what was in my hands? I would have been able to run faster. I could have used my arms. But I didn't, because everything ceased to exist in my brain except that fight or flight instinct. And I chose to run away from the perceived danger. Thinking back about it now, yeah, it would have been better to drop the garbage. But think about in your daily life, if you're walking around with a drink in your hand, or if you have a kid in your hands, or whatever the case may be. Speaking of drinks, it's good bourbon. What you may think you would drop whatever's in your hands, or if it's a child, that you would shield them or put them down so they can run or so you can fight or whatever. But when it comes down to it, your body is going to do what your brain tells it to do. And you're not going to have time to tell your brain to tell your body what to do. It is instinct and training. That's why training is so important. And training in very realistic situations and environments is important. Picking something up and holding it, and then having to put it down, or whatever the case may be, when a buzzer goes off, for example, so you can deal with a threat. So you're not trying to hold on to a Coke while you're going to draw your pistol. Not going to work very well. I'm rambling a little bit at this point, but I thought that story, it just popped into my head today, would kind of drive home that point of your body, your muscle memory, and your mental muscle memory are what's going to impact and dictate what you're going to do in a high stress, potentially life or death situation. So when I say train, when I say get training, train yourself, whatever the case may be, whatever your budget and time constraints can afford to do, that's what I'm talking about, is situations like that where you're not going to be able to think before you react. You just have to react. That's why our special operations guys train like they do in so many different aspects and fields, and so vigorously, because they don't have the kind of time to think about what they're doing when they're in the middle of it. They don't have time to think, oh, that's a bad guy, I should probably shoot him, or that's a good guy, I shouldn't shoot him. It has to be instinctive, or people get killed. So I hope this video made sense to you guys. I hope the story kind of sparked something maybe in your own life where you've been in a similar situation and you did something that you look back on later and you're like, that was kind of dumb. I probably should have dropped the trash, or whatever the case may be. And flips on a switch in your head that, maybe some training isn't a bad thing after all. But thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. And it was a short video, but I hope you enjoyed it. If you did like it, or if you have an experience similar to the one that I shared, please post down in the comments below. Let us know what experience you went through, so maybe we can all, as a collective audience, benefit from your story as well. Thanks again, guys. Y'all take it easy. Roll Tide, and I'll see you later.